Okay, Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas. Today's date, September 27th of 2023, and it's about 6:30 p.m. About an hour or so ago, I'm not sure how long they spent here, but two people who work for Verizon showed up and came to the door, and I grabbed him and gave him a big hug and drug him into my room. Okay, I'm exaggerating, but they came to the door and explained who they were, and I said, we tried, I tried Verizon and it didn't work out. And they said, oh, they're awful sorry about that and whatever. And then they explained a little bit. And so I said, come on back, to my room. And then they explained to me, I'm thinking maybe it was, there's a YouTube video here about it. I may put a link to that, I'm not sure. Let's say 6 months. Verizon came, two people came. In this situation, two people came. Verizon came about 6 months ago, say. They came and I was like, I'm kidding. Anyway, yeah. And I signed up because the Verizon service is, wireless. You don't need the cable coming into your, your building. You just put it where the antenna can pick it up. And I'd heard good things about it. And it was cheaper. And they had a bunch of also deals, special deals that were available. I mean, everything sounded fantastic. And I said, sign me up. And so anyways, two people, they signed me up. And the box came, I don't know, a couple of days later with the receiver, or the modem, or whatever you want to call it. And the people told me when they came, I asked, I said, where is the antenna, for this? And they said, right over there. And that's where, right behind the bank there, big antenna, cell phone tower and the whole thing. And so, I filled everything out. Well, I'd already filled everything up when I got the thing a couple of days later, Anyway, the box came and I plugged it in and, did what the little notes and things said to do, and got the green light right away, and I put it over over there where the tower is, and then I moved it over here, green light, everything was okay. So now I did not cancel my Spectrum, or my Spectrum, is it Spectrum? I can't remember. That I pay about $100 a month for, and I'm supposed to get $1,000 down, and I might have got $1,000 down once, but I would get four. I now get 4 or 5. Well, let's see. Let's just go here and do speed test. And I'll probably get 300 or 350. I've got 500, before 400, 500. I mean, that's good. I don't need that speed. I'm doing YouTube videos, but I do not need that much speed. And Verizon is supposed to give you about 300, and that should be fine for what I do. Now, I don't hook to the internet and send video 24 hours a day or 7 days a week. I just make videos, And so anyway, and the speed was okay. When I got this, let's go back to where I was. So I got it, and now I did not cancel the Spectrum that we had, because I wanted to make sure that worked, you know, because it's kind of important to me. And so I think about the first night, lost the, you know, the light went red. No, I'm sitting here and looking, and of course, Darlene hollers, you know, I lost the TV's not working, you know, there's no internet, and yeah, I saw it wasn't working or whatever. Then after, I don't know, 3 minutes, 6, 7 minutes, it came back. I didn't have to do anything, you know. Of course, after that I moved it around, and it's because I was told the tower was over, you know, over there. I could see the tower from my window if I didn't have a curtain in front of it. And that continued. I mean, a few hours later, lost internet for 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5, 6, 7 minutes. And so you know, we tried it for, I didn't cancel, of course, internet service. And that just kept happening. And I mean, that's no, you know, that's not good. I mean, if you lose it occasionally, something happens, okay, you know, those things happen. But that was just, so, broke my heart. I had to, you know, call them and tell them that I was canceling, and they sent me a box, and I put it in there and sent it back to, you know, to them, and the place that goes back to it right here in Fort Worth. And like I said, we didn't cancel our Spectrum, so we still had that. So we were okay. But I pay about $100 a month to Spectrum, and I don't know why I pay $100 a month. One, I'm not getting 1,000 down. I might have got 1,000 down once, you know, but of course I get 400 or 500 down. But I don't need that. And so I was really, you know, sad that this didn't work out. So anyway, today, two guys, I go to the door, and they're from Spectrum, you know, they're from Verizon. And I said, you know, I talked to them a little bit, and then they were apologizing and everything. And they had them come on back here, you know. And I had, you know, my YouTube thing on the screen, and one guy asked, you know, what, and I said, oh, I do, I'm on YouTube. And he said, what's the, you know, URL? And I told him, and he was, I'm logged in, you know. And anyway, the guy that was, this guy was a trainee, and then there was this guy, the other guy, was a trainer. And he was apologizing about these other, you know, he asked me, and I explained, you know, look, they came to the door, and, you know, he said, I'm so sorry, you know, that shouldn't have happened. And I said, well, why are you apologizing? It's not their fault. I said, you know, maybe there was a defective unit. Occasionally you have a defective unit or something. He said, yeah, that has happened, a defective unit. He says, and then he still like apologized. I said, you know, they didn't do anything wrong. He said, do you have their number? You know, I said, well, they gave me their number, but I didn't keep it. And he said, well, he says, they shouldn't have come here. And I said, but they told me that the tower was, he says, no, that wasn't the tower. And he said, this area was not, it's, when they were calling up their data or whatever, it would show that this area was not one of the green areas. I forget it, maybe blue was something else or whatever. And he says, and I said, well, maybe they just came to the, you know, wrong place. And he said, no, when they were filling it out, he said it would have shown them that this was not, you know, he says, the tower, he says, and at that time, he says, we didn't have, the, you know, everything arranged. The tower is over on this side, over there. And he said, that's where it is. He said, this gets a strong signal, you know, it shows it gets a strong signal here. And he said, so, I said, oh, okay. So anyway, went ahead and signed up. And two, Verizon had a really good price, and they had other extras that were available, and I forget what they were, and everything else. And I don't think we're hardly going to pay anything here because the government pays, I think, $20 or $30 a month or something like that if a household is on some type of, not disability, but if you need food stamps, or there's about 5 or 6 things, and if you're on those, and Darlene gets a small amount of food stamps each month. And so it will be, we'll be paying almost nothing, provided I fill out the proper thing for Darlene's, food stamps, and they accept it or whatever. So I'll be paying almost nothing for internet. The government will be paying, I think, about $20 or $30 for us to have internet. Anyway, in 2 days, we should get the box. He said, by the way, that they did have some trouble in the beginning with some of the boxes that they got, and he said, of course, we would know they would know right away that and take care of the problem. Like I told you, they have a whole bunch of okay, so here's what we're going to have. I think well, it's $35. I'd glad to go for $45. High-speed internet, Ultra HD 4K video streaming, wireless router included, 3-year price guarantee, 2-year price guarantee. Now before, like I said, they had one of the things they have a whole bunch of apparently specials, and the special then, if you signed up then, which I did, was lifetime guarantee at that price. So I would have liked to have had that. I hope this works out. I think it will. I'm sure it'll work out. Because those people came somehow, I thought that they just came into this area and, and when he was telling me, well, no, this area wasn't approved yet. And then I thought, well, they just came in the wrong area. And then he said, no, when they're using this, when they're doing their stuff over there, it would have shown that, no, this was not an approved area. So, but anyway, in a couple days, I'll have, see what day is today. This is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday probably. I think everything's going to go okay. And, they gave me their numbers and everything, so I'm hoping everything's going to go okay. Guess that's it. I'm not even sure. I already told you the thing about, getting the green light and then having the thing green light go out. And I told you all that, for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, then coming back after a few hours, and this just going on. So I don't think there's any reason to even link to the other YouTube video. This guy, like I said, he connected right away with, he said, "You just uploaded this video." I said, "Yeah, just now." And he said, "Well," I said, I've got about 2,000 videos. And he said, "Wow." And he said, "What do you talk about?" And I said, "Well, I don't know, everything." I said, I got a bad habit of making a video and I throw other things into it. I intend the video to be about such and such, and then I go talking about something else. And I said, a lot of YouTube video people do much, much better than I do. They put, like chapters. So you can, if you're watching their video, you can click and go to, what interests you. And I said, I should do that, but I don't. I said, I'm going to try to do it. I said, I just started rambling and talking, And he said, "Do you talk about politics?" And I said, not very often, but sometimes I do, So anyway, in a couple of days, you're not going to see any difference, except I'm probably going to save about $80 or more, because that's what we're paying to Spectrum. And yeah, they just, totally, that's the big mistake on their part, doing that, the way they're doing it. And they could prevent, Verizon coming in if they were just not so greedy, but they were greedy as, an internet service or a cable provider. They were the same thing. When Darlene was living next door and I was living here, she was paying, I think, $150 or $200 a month for, the cable channels. And I wasn't paying as much, but I was paying, so, yeah. So, anyway, I'm going to feel good for the next couple of days, and I think it's going to work out this time. So, thanks very much for watching.